Alright, Dwayne Johnson, you made your kid's birthday gift. Now can we concentrate on some real DC movies now?
Sit, Ubu, sit.
Deploy canine shield.
What is a canine?
Dwayne the Rockweiler Johnson and Kevin Bark are fighting Guinea Piggy in the Brain in DC's Bolt. DC's Bolt, come on. Alright, so before I tell you what I thought of this movie, I should probably go into detail about what I thought about the other Super Pets properties. With that said, there's a lot of people that have a problem with trailers nowadays showing too much of the movie. They feel like they're giving too much away. And the one advantage of that is that it does give you a good sum up of what the movie is like, because man, when I saw this trailer, I said to myself, well, this doesn't really look for me, but it looks fine for kids, kinda cute, and maybe I'll have one or two laughs in there, and yeah, that's exactly what I got. This is a perfect example of a film that's not really bad, but not really good either. It's a movie that's clearly trying to hit kids and adults. So if this was only a kids movie, maybe I would cut a little bit more slack, but you can tell that there's a lot of jokes that are trying to hit the adults in the audience as well. And some of them do work. Some of them got a legit chuckle out of me, but there's not many that got a super big laugh. And that's not at all to say any of the jokes are terrible or annoying, because again, you've all seen comedies where not only do jokes not work, but they're painful to watch, and there isn't anything like that here. I can't really recall any fart jokes, any incredibly bad puns. They're just kind of dull. I'd say maybe every 5 minutes I got a good laugh, and not even like a knee-slapping laugh, but a decent laugh. It's very clever.
I bit the FedEx guy the other day.
Who was he working for?
FedEx.
Of course, the Federation of X's.
Okay, example of a missed joke opportunity. There should have been a Federation of X's in this. There's two things that are consistently entertaining in this movie. One is Dwayne Johnson as Crypto. I mean, he is an incredibly charming actor, but you look at the design of this dog, he's absolutely adorable. He really has that innocent naivete where his master is the only thing in his world. Even when a joke doesn't land, he is so charming and so likable, and he's animated great, and Dwayne Johnson, again, just illuminates likability, so there's that. The second thing that was consistently funny, I mean, not just entertaining, but consistently funny, was Kate McKinnon as the villain. And I think this is where the writers really enjoy their job, because it is a villain and they could probably get away with a little bit more mean-spirited jokes, because there are a few times in this film you can tell they wanted to do something a little harsher, a little meaner, but Warner Brothers or somebody was pulling back and saying make it more kid-friendly.
Hey there, little fella.
Nah.
Alright, that's a perfect example of somebody clearly wanting to do a funny, mean joke, but somebody else pushed back. And I originally thought him going, nah, was referring to like another scene, like they just clipped it together for the trailer, but no, that's literally how he reacts right after that, and that feels weird. That's not the reaction he should have. That's kind of the awkwardness that happens through a fair amount of this movie. But when Kate McKinnon's character and anything connected to her is on screen, it's pretty funny. This is a comedian who, if she doesn't have a good script, she can't save it. But if she does have a good script, she can make it better. And she makes this decent writing even funnier. She has a really great delivery. The idea of this little guinea pig trying to take over the world, again, is something you've seen a lot. Again, I referenced Pinky and the Brain earlier. But she makes it work. The animation on her is very funny. This little thing flying around with a cape. It's very, very good. Her minions are equally funny. She goes and gets other guinea pigs. There's an adorable orange kitten that she saves from the animal shelter because she's gonna burn it down, but even she says, oh, I'm not a monster, and she saves the kitten while she lets the other animals die, and she turns it into a villain, which is funny the more I think about it. This is the second animated film where the orange cat was the funniest part.
I am Lulu, and you will kneel before me, you piece of...
I'd actually like to see McKinnon in more animated villain roles. Well-written animated villain roles. But where something like Bolt didn't really have a ton of hard laughs either, it rode the charm and the innocence of the main characters and the idea. And if this movie was only Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, and Kate McKinnon as these three characters, I think it could have worked. It could have ridden that charm, but we do have a lot of other side characters, and they're just not that funny. Even Kevin Hart doesn't get that many laughs, but he's surprisingly plays the dramatic roles okay. Who would have thought Batman's dog would be dramatic? You know, maybe that's a dumb question to ask the more I think about it. But regardless, he does a good job. But the laughs aren't really there, but again, they're not awful. And the same can be said for the other animal characters. You have a pig that grows giant and tiny. You have a squirrel that has electricity, which, by the way, flying squirrel, come on, that was right there for you. A turtle that's lightning fast, yeah, you got that one. But a good example of one of the more adult jokes not working is that the turtle in this has her dialogue bleeped a good chunk of the time. Actually, not even a good chunk of the time, maybe about 3 or 4 times, because she very clearly says a swear word.
Where the am I?
There's 2 ways you can work with this and make it funny, because that's just lazy if you just bleep it in the movie. That's like a TV channel thing. If you bleep it in the movie, it doesn't make a lot of sense. One, she just needs to say it more. I mean, 3 times isn't enough. If she's swearing over and over and over and it's always bleeped out, that would be pretty funny, but 3 times, that's not enough. The other way to work around it is that you could have something always beep in the scenario, like maybe a car horn goes off or an ice cream truck rides by or something, so she can be like, how the did we get here? I mean, what the is going on in this hole? Like, that would make sense and that would be clever, but they just kind of take the lazy route. And some of these jokes have that feel where it's not awful, it's not annoying, it's not something where you roll your eyes, it's just kind of a little boring. And with an idea like this, where some of these jokes, especially considering the personality of pets and different animals and different reactions and so forth, they don't take advantage of as much as they could, but that's not to say they don't at all. There are a lot of times where they do show the clinginess of them and their overreactions, and yes, that is made funnier that they think it's the end of the world when their master doesn't come home while the end of the world is literally happening. So stuff like that is very humorous, but it's not played into enough, and there's way too many characters trying to throw jokes that don't usually work.
Iron that out. They should call me Iron Man. No.
Ooh, snap! But with that said, I can see kids, die-hard animal fans, and even die-hard DC fans having a good time with this, because I think people that love animals are gonna love looking at these things, especially Crypto. Again, he's just freaking adorable. I think DC fans are gonna like the in-jokes. They're gonna like that they have like Keanu Reeves as Batman, and that the way they defeat Cyborg is to take out his AA battery and put him on airplane mode. Like, stuff like that is very, very funny, and there's little bits like that sprinkled throughout the movie. And of course, if you're a kid, again, I think 12 and under roughly would be the age group that I think is just gonna really, really get into this. But my guess is if you're an average moviegoer who saw the trailer and it just wasn't grabbing you, I don't think there's gonna be much in this that's gonna like surprise you and amazingly win you over. It's exactly what's advertised. So yeah, I'm really on the fence whether or not to recommend this to you. I mean, hopefully you can kind of feel it out and get an idea. I didn't have a bad time, but it's not a film I'm really glad I saw either. Even the jokes that work are not making me say, oh man, that's gonna change the way I look at this type of humor or this type of scenario. So let's give it 2.5 out of 4 cryptocurrency. Which no, they do not make that joke in the film, and I don't know how to feel about that. It's kind of like Vin Diesel not saying family in a Fast and Furious movie. Like, yeah, you know it's a little lame, but you still gotta do it. That said, what did you think? Because again, I am kind of all over the map on this. Do you think it's worth recommending? Do you think that the animals are adorable and they're really funny and there is enough for kids and adults in this? Or do you think it was really lame? It was a dumb idea to begin with? Why are you giving Superman Dog his own movie? I mean, how many DC characters are there that should get their own movie? Or are you somewhere in between where you're like, you know what, it's not bad. It's definitely not the greatest anime film either, but I can take my kids to it and I can have an okay time too. Let me know what you think and I'll see you next time. Take care.